and find and denoted as F is to hear me? Let me check with the host. Problem. They're not able to hear me. This out. Everyone. Okay. I think the host to please look into that. Okay. Which have got 6 faces. So now, according to the Euler's formula that tells us that V minus E plus F is equal to 2, or in words, the number of vertices minus the number of edges plus the number of faces is equal to 2. So what I that 8 minus 12 plus 6 is okay. Mod mass there. So first addition 8 plus 6 that gives minus, and that question is 2, and is going to be applicable. What you see here is called as a pyramid. Find the solid figure given on the left. What you and then to find the vertices. In the chat box, back. Yes, I am already getting answers. Vishwa, Rishi. Now, let us. Okay. We have 5. So what you see is there vertices which are 5. So X first one to answer this question, followed by Rishik, and then very good. Keep it up. Keep. Let's look at a question here. It says that a cube of each side 4 centimeter has been black, red, and green on faces. Okay, so top and the face opposited. Okay, so they are all painted the same color. 3 have been used, black and green. It is then 1 centimeter. Cube, 4 sides are equal. Black is going to be black, green, red, and will be red. how many small cubes are there? Okay. Okay. I have from Cathedral group session, so be able to participate. But I think from next week they will. So Cathedral has already answered the question. Which the volume of the big cube is going to be 4 into 4, which is 64 centimeter cube. The volume is going to be 1 into 1 into 1, so that is 1 centimeter cube. The number cube divided by the volume of small cube, and answer here is 64. So there are. So I think into 3. Why not do that? So I think 3. So is any doubts anyone has? I will cube and divided by the volume of the small cube to get the number of cubes. It's a simple. What I simply have to ask myself is, small cube is 1 centimeter cube. So centimeter cubes are there. How many cubes will be? So it's a multiplication that is going to give me that formula, volume of large cube upon volume of small cube, and then is going to be 6. Is this, in order to cubes, I would have to do volume divided by the volume of small cube. Okay, proceed. Have been painted black, red, and green on pairs of opposite faces. So same information as what it was given earlier. It is small cubes of each centimeter. Let us look at the question now. How many cubes will have 3 faces painted? Faces painted. I for students need some hint. Yes. Correctly. Keep it up, Ravi. Ankit, good, very good. That was the second correct answer, followed by Shrishti. All now are all correct. All the cubes at the corner. Okay. Visualize at one corner. Same way, we have to count all the corners. 8. Everyone, keep it up. Let's. Once again is the same, so I'll run slide quickly. Have 2 painted. 2 is painted. I see disparities in the answer. Time with the answer. Coming in. Diagram there which has overlapped the initial information or the initial diagram with a hint. All those cubes that will have two faces painted. Cubes will have two faces painted. Okay. On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 faces painted. The answer is 4. And I have just one correct answer coming in from Aniket. Good. Slide and color of cubes. And answer 12. If any explain, if to interrupt, just a moment, please. Then Aryan, go back to the slide once again. Sorry, understood this. This is what you will see. This is, and I have shown you how one of the cubes will be painted on two of the faces. So just the front face itself, you will be able to count 8 cubes that will be painted on. Okay. So another arrow on another 4 arrows on the face. Okay. Cubes. This is another cube. This is one more. This is one more. So this is another 4. So 8 plus 4 is 12. 9. Okay. So turn the cube now. Situation will be behind, and on the is exactly opposite this. So 12 clearly observe on the cube and have to visualize 24. Is that is it? Okay? The question is, how will have one face painted? How one? I won't waiting. A lot of correct answers. There are 4 faces painted on the front. That will be on the top. 4 faces on the left, on the right side. And the same, somebody comes up with the logic also. 6 4s are 24. Yes, sir, is 24. Correct. So the cube has 6 faces. On every face there are 4 cubes. Therefore, the cubes are right. Answers right from the beginning. Rishi, Kathi, and Ravi. Okay, correct answers I got. So once again, the same cube. And how many small cubes will have no faces painted? Now you go into faces that are not visible. Okay. Okay. Because you cannot see the correct answers on this. The answer is 8. I'm sorry. Itself was correct. Aniket followed by Ravi. The answer. Okay, Aryan's question of how. Aryan, you need to visualize that the cube now you need inside. It is going to be facing which is behind the one I am now marking in red. Behind and below these. The behind the ones that are marked with the dots and the ones which are marked at the top. Because it will be behind the ones which are marked on the front, the ones which are marked at the top. So there are such cubes which are going to be marked at the top. There are yes, 4 cubes for Rishik is not working. That that are also painted. The question was how many of them will have no faces painted? Yes, got the answer. They have understood the logic. Okay. And these cubes, which I am now marking red. Okay. It's so now 8 is so painted red and cut into 1000 identical small cubes. If the volume of the small cube is 1 centimeter cube, the large cube. Read. You need length of the large cube. Yes, with the dimension, that is correct. You need to put the dimension because without a dimension, you won't get the mark. So, cathedral is correct. Answer dimension is wrong. Aryan, read the length of side. The question side cannot have that dimension. Every answer right this time, except so here. Okay. The is painted red and then cut into 1000 identical smaller cubes. How many of these cubes are not painted on of the faces? How many on X? Sorry, there, how many of them are, sorry, of these cubes are on this? The question, how many of them are painted on a cube and then identical smaller cubes? How many are painted? How many? Three of the faces. The change, the change, how many painted on three of the faces? Rishik, absolutely correct. Excellent. Remember, answer for how many cubes are painted on three of faces is always going to be eight. No questions you make out of it is going to be how many 1 centimeter cube sections you make out of it. The answer is always going to be 8. There are going to be painted on all the three faces. Review three faces and sides that are shaded. The number of cubes with three sides painted are 8. 3 by 3 painted are going to be once again 8. 4. The cubes sides painted are also going to be 8. Okay. Whatever type it is, 3. Don't have the answer. Cube. This question, in a 2 by 2 by cube, the number of cubes with two sides painted is going in a to be 12, and in a 4 by 4 cube, the two painted are 24. Help you imagine the cube and the is I'm taking one by cube. The one side painted are 0. The side painted are 6. 4 by 4 by 4. The number of cubes with one side painted are 24. These are clearer than the other ones, which will help you visualize the cube. So if the 4 by 4 cube we dealt with earlier, okay, help you clarify that. Okay, let us break for 5 minutes. Okay, from there. So after this break, come back again.
On answer. The content of this presentation is not supported.
Everybody, see here is sequence. A usual that order. What you the number 9 is as a sequence and order. 3 numbers, and that can continue infinitely. Sequence which is called as the arithmetic sequence is the difference between one and the next is a constant. In other words, value each time infinitely. There is a common difference, and what you sequence 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, and 22 is from 4 to 3, and I am subtracting the next term with the previous term, I difference, and that difference is 3. So this has of 3 between each number. Such a sequence is UN, which is equal to u1 plus f1 into d, where the first term and the order d is the common difference. So n is going to be u1 plus f1 d. For example, above sequence, if I find the second term, if I find out the second term, the first term plus 2 difference, which is 3. So what I and you is equal to 4. So the formula works and works for this one, the second works for all other terms. Let's some examples so that will make things more clear. Sequence is the same sequence as I had taken earlier. K1, and in all these cases we are finding out the general expression. So U1 is D, U is 1 plus n minus 1 D, for U plus 3n minus 3, so you have equal to 3n minus 2. Sequence using the expression for the sequence on your screen. If I have a question there, finite, right? No, nth means the nth term. Like say the whichever term you are finding out. Suppose you are finding out the 10th term, then it should be equal to 10, and it should help you find out the 10th term in the sequence. There, what is the confusion, Ariel? This is just a simple formula. I go back to the slide and show you the formula. So and D is common difference. So you have the general expression for this as well, and that is 5n minus 2. Are you computer or phone? Going to be difficult. Yes, are you on your phone and that is going to be difficult? You need to log on from your computer, not from your phone. Today, and things will be better. Okay. Next idea. There's a sequence on your screen and you need to find out the general expression for that sequence. The first, please, what would, yes, the first answer comes from Cathedral. Any? Yes. Yes, all answers are correct. They are on 12. Yes, now a few more correct answers. Very good. Keep. Let's look at called the quadratic sequence. A quadratic sequence of numbers in which the difference between any two consecutive terms is constant. Okay, let us understand what this means. It's 7 going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and observe carefully, this difference is not a common difference. If you look, difference is not the common difference. If I take difference of that difference, that means when I do 2 minus 1, 3 minus 2, 4 minus 3, now I get the common difference. Whenever you are going to get the common difference in the second step, is going to be called as a quadratic sequence. 2, 1 are all sequence is a quadratic sequence. Okay. What for a quadratic sequence that appears on your screen now is A C. That is the that now for also the first difference, let A. So if I'm going to substitute the value of n here and value of n here, and the value of n here, you will get A. Is everyone following this? Can you? So say 2 here, and here I will end up getting 4A plus 2B plus C. Same way is equal to 3. I'm going to get 9A plus 3B plus C. And n is equal to 4. I have 16A plus 4B plus C. If the difference between these two, if I will these two, A plus B, and I B, and when I find out the difference between these two, and I find the difference between these two, I have the difference is 2A. It is 2A. Look at this sequence: 0, 54, 96, 150, 216. Look at the common. The first 30, 42, 54, 66. But when the second difference, it is okay. Now, for the second difference, the general equation for the second difference is 2A. Value of A, and the value of A is 2A. So now equate it to this difference, the first difference, which is 6. So 3 value for A. So I'll minus 6 minus first expression, which is A plus B plus C, and equate it to 0. A 0. So 6 of all of that. A, the B, and the value B, and then substitute values here. Place of A, B, and C in the general equation, and when I will get the value of Tn as 6 n square. Remember, plus 1 can 1 the whole square, because if you expand n minus 1 the whole square, you n square minus 2n everybody is here, so I okay, fine, very good. If you remember generations that I showed you here, if you like A plus B or A plus B plus C, then it will be applicable in any situation. First one will always be 3A plus B, and A plus B plus C will always be the first term, general expression. Okay, fine, I can do that. Go back to my previous. Okay, students, method upon you, Vishwa, to find out if there is another method. This is the simplest one. If you can remember the formulas, it is going to be easiest and the quickest. Of course, there are methods of doing this, and you can find them out. A quadratic equation, this is the general expression for a quadratic equation. Remember, here is I'm finding out the general expressions for the first difference and the second difference. Now, in this expression, I will be getting A plus B plus C. To 2, then I will get 4A plus 2B plus C. If I'm going to get 9A plus 3B plus C, and to 4, I've seen A plus B plus C. The difference between these two, the minus A minus B minus C, I will 3A plus B, and if these two, that B plus C, note minus 4A minus 2B minus C, then I'm getting 5B, and if I put the difference between these two, then 5 plus B minus 3A minus B, which is 2A. Let us look at an example. In this, these are and these, and what I have to do is I have to just equate 2 to 12. And 0. And if I do that, I will linear equations like these and get A, B, and one thing I have to do is substitute these values in the general expression, the general term, any nth term in sequence. Is it, or has anybody followed this? Okay. The break, and we'll list it down now 2, 3, which we have here. I have tabulated everything. It is cube are going to be 0, 1 painted will be 0, and 2 painted is also going to be 0, but 3 painted will be 8. Okay, the results from that we had discussed. So what are 1, 8? Okay, because what I is, if I do 1 cube, I get 1, and if I do 2 cube, I will get 8. This is the whole cube. The general minus 2, the whole cube. In n, when I'm going to substitute 2, in place to substitute 2, I get this result. That is, if I'm going to 3, then quickly in their head, 4, 8, and the expression is going to be very useful for me if I observe, because he had told me that it is a 5 by 5 by cube, where equal to 5. Okay, would have been very simple. The answer 5, the whole, which is 3, and which doing anything. This I am simply using formula. Any of cube, any side cube, this general expression would have worked in that situation. Okay. I hope that fine. Is it 24? This all expression for a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation that we found earlier was 6 minus 2 the whole square minus 1 the whole square. Now it is going to be n minus 2 the whole square. 6 minus 2 the whole square will be the general expression for one side of the cube painted. Two of the first sequence, the arithmetic sequence. So I have u1 plus n minus 2d this time, because remember that we are starting out here at 2. We are starting. Okay. Our general expression. So minus 2. Is that clear? All the three sides painted, I don't need a general expression for that because I am have that as 8. Okay. I have started off with the cube, then painted whether it was 1, 2, 3, and general expression for number of sides that are painted. The general paint is n minus 2 the whole cube, n minus 2 the whole square, 2 minus 2, and is 8. Okay, so everybody, there's some problem at Cathedral. They followed this. Here, oh yes, they say that it is yes now. Fine, good. So what expressions for how many sides of the cube are going to be painted? Through the little exploration that I did, I tried things, few math concepts, starting cubes, then we went into sequences, then these concepts clubbed together. Okay, expressions. So this depending on how many ever sides are there, whether somebody tells you there are 10 or there are sliced into 10 pieces or pieces, whatever it is, one cube of n, okay, 10 by 10 cube, or they say 20 by 20 by 20 cube, but I have expressions here. Just cube, don't start doing anything, don't need cutting the cubes. The answer in front of you is minus 2 the whole cube, 1 minus 2 the whole square, 2, 2, and 3, 8. General expressions. Blue, 2 are shaded blue on 2 faces. Formula and get the answer quickly. See fast. Descend fast. Count here is, now this is 5 by 5 by 5 cube. I think students missed that out. Wish you all missed that information out. Cube is a 5 by 5 by 5 cube. Okay. 6. Here's another. Cube all its sides. If meter cube, 1 centimeter cubes will be exactly 1 inch painted. words, but read it carefully. It is centimeter. 5 cubic centimeter means 5 by 5 by 5. 5 will be 5 by 5 by 5. Recall what was the formula for one of the sides painted? That is E and 9 and 54. This question is 54. Good, very good. I have these answers coming from Shri Cathedral. They were to observe. Okay. This idea of Pascal's triangle, and then we will continue with the discussion on Pascal's triangle in the session that is next week. Like this, with the one at the top. Okay, at the top, and then here x always have one through the x. Numbers are calculated by simply adding these two. Calculated by adding these two. Yes, Aryan says that he has already done that at a math fair. That's excellent. Very good. This number is simply adding 1 and 2. This number is derived by simply adding 2 and 1. And there's an example. There is 4. Is just then 3, 1, 4, 1. Okay. Triangle. Next, taking up Pascal's triangle a little more in detail, and we'll be looking at some applications of the Pascal's triangle in algebra. Okay. That you discussed today. Says no sir, no questions. So much for being same time 7